I'm so that.
Yep. Man, I am sitting up here. Hey, young Riaz. I am sitting up here um, at the college right now, waiting on my son. He had to go in and handle some things as far as his registration and getting his classes in order. He ran into an issue. For some reason, they had like, um, hey, Tamika Davis. Hey, boo. For some reason, they had dropped him for all his courses because he forgot to fill out two pieces of paperwork, and I wasn't able to bring him up here to today, so he can get it worked out, and so they could find out what technical problems was going on with it. So of course I had to take time out from work, um, and get that done. Congratulations, young Riaz. What's your major? So, um, my son, um, Lord help him. I think, I think as a mother, our work is never done. And it's kind of crazy to me sometimes because I feel like even in regards to black men, and particularly black men or just boys in general, um, they need guidance way beyond that first 18 years of life. If anything, I think that young men, especially young black men, need that guidance um through their 20s, through their 30s, you know, um, I think at least by their 30s they should at least have a hang of things, or it's gonna be like you know, if you've ever heard the saying, a hard head make a soft ass from your grandma or your grandpa. So it's like, they learn from their mistakes and they start building that wisdom about around 30, and they really supposed to have it mastered by 40. But we know that's not the case, honey. We know that's not the case. Okay, young Riaz, I see you. Yeah. Um, being artistic is I'm gonna tell you, I know people that have all types of I know I have a friend that has Asperger's. I have a friend that's also autistic, and they have uh, good careers. I'm telling you, it's never stopped them from doing anything they wanted to do in life. So hats off to you for pushing forward and still doing what you need and want for yourself, despite of you know you being artistic, because I don't see it being artistic as being like a handicap at all. I see it as a different perception on life, and I think a lot of people don't look at it in that way. Hey, sis, they don't look at it in that way. They automatically be like, oh, poor this person, poor that person. Honey, let me tell you, that person is blessed. Okay. I've seen it's a blessing to have a different view of the world and to be able to interpret things and people and places in a way that, what I'm saying, only people either like you or just people that are very in tune and perceptive, they're able to understand. And 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 it's knowledge in that. It's a lot of aspects of that that I don't think people even realize or pay attention to. So, me sitting up here at the college is kind of bringing back some things, but um, I guess my message today is like I just feel that when it comes to black men, I feel like their fathers um really need to understand that that guidance is needed, especially in their 20s, and they shouldn't think, hey, my child has turned 18 and I'm done. It don't work that way, because I feel like you throwing them to the wolves if you take that aspect. Because they need preparation beyond high school. They still growing and maturing. Yeah, some of them, get out there on their own and wind up doing college and everything else. But even in college, when they're not away from you, they're doing things, they're making mistakes, they're learning, they're going through these experiences and everything else. And your children, they're gonna call you. You know what I'm saying? If they have a problem or issue, if they want to talk, or you can even sense that in your children without them even speaking, if you're intuitive in that nature. So I just feel like, that's the disappointment that I have when it comes to fathers and sons, and especially the relationship I see that my son has with his father. Um, that I wish that he is even now just more involved and gives him that type of guidance. But since he's not, I mean, I'm just gonna be real with you, and it just seems like he's kind of moved on. And I think my son kind of feels that. He feels like, my father has a new family. He's raising a son. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I think he feels like he's just fallen to the wayside and he's forgotten about. And I hate to see my child going through that emotion. And of course, you want to protect your children from that type of thing, but that's just the reality of the world. And I know that feeling all too well because I was in the same situation with my father when I was about around his age, even younger. My father um, was a good man, and I love him, and I love him dearly now, even though, he's passed away. But at the same time, he made mistakes in parenting. He made mistakes. He's a human being. And he had the habit of he would take care of someone else's child before he took care of his own. And as a child, when you're looking at that type of thing, you see and it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And you carry that hurt. And that hurt affects your decisions and the things that you do later on in life, especially when it comes to having a relationship with a man or with a woman. If you have a mother that's inflicted that type of hurt on you, you're gonna have you're gonna carry that pain. If you have a father that's inflicted that type of pain on you, you're gonna carry that pain. So I carried it. I carried it for a long time. And because I carried it, it affected my decisions in such a way that I made mistakes, you know what I'm saying, big and small when it came to relationships and dealing with men on that level because I was never really properly taught by my father how I should be treated because I'm watching him and I'm seeing him treat the women in his life the way he's treating them. And I'm thinking, and to me, that's normalized because that's all I'm seeing. Y'all feel me? So it's just very important that we kind of be mindful of that. And I still, at 44 years old, have to um remind myself to not let that influence that was once over me, um, you know, um, dictate my actions and even how I deal with my own children and how I handle relationships in my own life. So it takes a lot to self-reflect in that way. And um, watching him going through those emotions triggered something in me because it's not something that I wanted for him. But I can't live in regret either. And what I have to do is do the best I can for him. And if I see that if he's trying to better himself, he's trying to get his education, he's trying to get a job, he's trying to push forward and do the things he needs to do for himself as a man, then I have to be there to support him because I am the parent. I am the constant. You know what I'm saying? We are the constant as single parents. Um, we are the we're the sun. You know what I'm saying? And our children are the planets, and they rotate around us. So if our atmosphere is got as our atmosphere has uh asteroids and and all types of space junk, whatever, circulating our orbit, our children are gonna be affected by that too. You know what I'm saying? If our light gets dulled, if we don't have the energy, you know, you got to think about how the sun is to the earth. The sun is life. What would happen if the sun just went out? What would happen if we didn't have any sun anymore? And I had to think about it. You know, sometimes I just sit deep in thought and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I am the sun, my children are the planets. You know what I'm saying? The sun is the giver of life. You know what I'm saying? Sun gives you energy, it makes things grow. I mean, I don't have to tell y'all, y'all went through you know, not biology, but y'all went through science like I did in school, and you learned how important the sun was to the planets and how important the sun was to the earth. And we are mothers, we are single parents, you know, even single fathers. We are the sun. We are the constant, you know, in in our children's lives. When our children get up in the morning, they see us. You know what I'm saying? When they go to sleep at night, you know, they see us. The sun rises, the sun sets. That's what we are. That's how I see a single parent as being. And yeah, that responsibility, I'm gonna tell you, weight of the world on your shoulders is an understatement because everything falls to the wayside. What you want, your wants, your needs, your mental, your physical, everything about you just falls to the wayside because now you have this life. You're supporting life. You're supporting these children that need you. You know, so um, yeah, you are, and 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 I'm glad that you're in a two parent household where that you know you have people that are loving and that are supportive of you. Um, and that's another thing that's crazy to me as well. Not to knock two parent households, but a lot of people, single parents are, you know what I'm saying, especially if you're a single black woman and you're a parent, we are always judged and looked at negatively, and it's a stigmatism out there about us, and it's unfair because you have people that's in two parent homes that are still being abused, that are still being hurt, that are still, you know, parents not taking care of their children and everything else, but they don't get as much press, so they don't get as much attention as those that it's just a single mother who, you know, harmed a child or lost their child, or a single father who did this to their child or that to their child. So um I just feel like, you know, not all of us out here are just sitting around doing nothing all day, collecting welfare, not trying to better ourselves to get an education. You know, some of us out here are busting our asses working 2 to 3 jobs every day. Some of us out here like, you know, you know, we go on to sleep at night for maybe an hour or two to wake up to go to one job, to make sure our kids are straight, to make sure the clothes are ready, to make sure they're fed, make sure they have a roof over their heads, give them as much love as we can in those few moments that we have with them before we send them out to the world, to face it alone because we have to work and we have to provide. And you know, if you are not, and hats off to the single parents, you know, out here, it's not all of us can be college majors. Not all of us can, you know, work in certain hot professions that provide like a livable wage and everything else. We have to do what we have to do in order to survive, whether it be cleaning toilets, whether it be cutting grass, you know, doing lawn care, whether it be manual labor, anything we have to do to provide for our children, we're out there doing it. And that's not shown. You know what I'm saying? I got my work ethic from my mother. My mother was out there doing the damn thing. Yeah, we had our issues and our problems as mothers and daughters do, but for the most part, I saw her get out there and do 2 or 3 jobs. I saw her get her education, get her degree, despite of her challenge that she had. I saw that, and that stuck with me. And I'm glad that I was able to see that and experience that because when I got out here in this world, I was able to survive and live without having to have my hand out, you know, to people or, you know, something like that. I learned from her, and I'm glad for that. Because if I didn't have, if I she didn't, if I had not learned that work ethic from her, I wouldn't have made it out here. I wouldn't have made it out here. So with all the negative things that come with single parenthood, people need to also see the positive things that come out of it too. And that's what I'm trying to showcase in the shorts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also trying to bring it to, like, with my shorts content, I'm trying to show people that you know, and also show other single parents who might be down on themselves or thinking, hey, this is getting too much, this is that and the other. I'm trying to kind of redirect their focus and show them, look at what a difference you're making. Even when you're standing up in the living room and your baby's watching their favorite show and you're dancing with them in that moment. I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna remember that. And my daughter still remembers things I used to do with her when she was 4. When I used to be in my CNA uniform for working a 12, 16-hour shift. You know what I'm saying? And I would sit there and she like, Mommy, can you play Dance Central with me? And I would, y'all, when I say I would be so tired, and a lot of times hungry as well, because I probably only had like a little bag of whatever at work, and I barely ate because I was constantly just working, 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 working. And then I get home, and all you want to do is lay down and rest. But when your baby is like, Mommy's home, I need that time and attention, you give it. And I gave it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I just felt like I was about to pass the heck out, I still took that little bit of time with her and danced, honey. And we danced, and she still talks about that to this day. So I'm telling you, when things get hard on you, when it comes to your children and when it comes to yourself, take solace in those moments and remember that you matter to your children, that you matter to God above all else, and that you matter to yourself, because that's going to be the motivation to push you through life. That's going to be the motivation that's going to get you to the next level. That's going to be the motivation that's going to let God know I did the right thing by, what I'm saying, supporting her in her dreams, or I did the right thing. I'm trying to say it in a better way. That's basically going to let God know that you are basically doing what He put you here to do. And when you're ready to go to that next step, He's going to make sure you get there, because He's going to see how faithful you are, not only just to Him, but to your children as well. And like I tell everybody, I am a work in progress. That will never ever change, because it's times where I pop off on people, and I still do, because Christian don't mean punk. And I'm gonna give you the same energy you give me, baby, because this is 2023 and I'm not playing with folks out here. So so with that being said, click the like button, share me out, subscribe. Please check out my shorts content. I'm going to uh try and get torn out by the end of this week, of course, because I missed Monday, and then last week I was having technical difficulties with my computer. I wasn't able to upload the content, edit it the way I like to edit. So we're gonna see how it goes. And then my work week is crazy, 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 crazy. Oh my God. My work week for this month and next month is gonna be crazy. But I appreciate everyone. Love you guys. And remember, you are the real ones. And on this channel, we don't play about real life, honey. We do the damn thing. So, gotta go. Bye.